Before your income, relationships, and your body change, your beliefs have to change first, okay? Because the woman you're becoming, she doesn't just act differently, she believes differently. Hey guys, my name is Brittany, and welcome back to the Becoming Her series. Listen, if you've been holding on to beliefs that no longer serve you anymore, they don't align with your higher self, then you are in the right place. Today, we're talking all about rewiring our beliefs and stepping into that new version, higher version of ourselves. One of the hardest things when you're on a mission to change is to change the way you perceive things, and most of all, the way you perceive yourself. All right, guys, let's get into it, okay? Because I feel like a lot of us are walking around with beliefs that we don't even know why we're holding on to them or where they came from. They were just literally passed on to us, and we're still just living through that trauma. So, one thing that I've been trying to be very conscious of, and that is like the things that I'm saying to myself. So, one thing I've learned is that you can get into an emotional loop. Like, you could wake up in the morning and feel the same feelings day after day, right? And if you don't become the master of your mind, you're going to let those thoughts take you back and keep you stuck. Okay. Fear has a weird way of showing up in our body. Okay. It stops us from doing the things that we know we should be doing, but also there's this feedback loop that we have in our minds over and over and over again, bringing up past traumas, past hurts, past relationships. And today we're going to tell you exactly how to stop that. Now, let's talk about beliefs here, okay? Because beliefs get passed down to us from family, through trauma, from friends, surrounding, you name it. And sometimes we walk around with these beliefs about ourselves that aren't even necessarily true. We don't know where they came from. We don't know why we feel this way about ourselves, but we just do, right? For instance, I used to walk around thinking I was so emotional. From a kid, I was always the one who would cry. I got my feelings hurt easily. I was always the one who would like be like upset or I remember growing up, I used to be considered a crybaby. Y'all know the one who always doing all the crying, super emotional. That was me. Okay, my family labeled me the crybaby. They would even go as far as be like, if you don't cry today, I'll give you $1. Like really trying to find ways to help me stop being so emotional, right? And as I grew up, I started to just believe and internalize me being emotional. And I used to associate that with being a bad thing. So I would always be like, I'm so emotional. Like I don't know why I would always have these feelings come up, like if I'm talking on stage, or if I'm in a uncomfortable situation, or if I'm having a hard conversation, I feel these emotions start to come up, right? And I'm like, girl, hold it together. You do not have to cry. You've got this. You know what I mean? Like a lot. And I just started to realize, like, okay, maybe I'm too emotional, and that's a problem, right? And something changed. Okay, so when I went to therapy, because I'm an advocate for therapy, and if you are not in therapy, that's where you need to start. Okay, you need to be able to talk to somebody who is not biased, who does not know you, does not know like your past and all of the things, and start to like work out some things that are really bothering you. So I'm an advocate for therapy. Okay, if you're not in therapy, definitely check out therapy. Okay. Anyway, shout out to my therapist because she's amazing. Anyways, I was just telling her like I'm so emotional. I'm telling her I'm like I'm just so emotional. Like I just cry all the time, and and she was like, "Well, why is that a bad thing?" And I sat there and I was like, "Because like I'm just over emotional. Like it's horrible. Like I cry all the time." And she was like, "Well, what if you're not emotional? What if you're just passionate, right?" And I was like, yeah, I think you're right. Like that reframe in that moment made me look at everything differently. Okay. It made me go back and start thinking about the connections that I made with the women in my business, right? They would come to me for skincare, eyebrows, you name it. But every time they left, we would be laughing together, crying together, like all of the things. Like they would come to me for more than just my services. They came to me for my heart, my soul, and my passion. And that's what set me apart from different service providers. It wasn't that, now, don't get it wrong, okay? Because I was really good at what I do, still am, but I had that connection, and because I'm passionate, because I'm quote unquote emotional, I was able to connect with these women, and it is the reason why I'm sitting here on YouTube now. It's the reason why I have the Becoming Her ebook. It's the reason why I have the Becoming Era podcast, because I have this gift, this passion inside of me to connect with people. And it was something that I believed for so long was a bad thing, until that one reframe showed me that it's not bad. It's just who I am. It's a part of who I am. So stop letting people tell you things about yourself is a bad thing when it can actually be your superpower. So I challenge you going forward to challenge every belief that you have. Every belief that you have, when it comes up in your mind, challenge it. Well, why do I think this way? Who told me to think this way? What's wrong with thinking this way? What's wrong with being this way? And if there's some things that you really need to change, obviously change them. But if there's things that just are a part of who you are, embrace them. You have to start embracing who you are, and you got to start changing the way that you view yourself, because like I said, before your income changes, before your body changes, before anything changes, your beliefs have to change. You have to feel worthy. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and know that you deserve these things. And once that shift happens, everything in your life will start to shift. So it can be those reframes that literally shift your whole identity, change your perspective on life, and make you feel seen. And in that therapist office, I felt so seen. And I just was like, you know what? Hey, I embrace my emotions. I'm passionate. That's what sets me apart. Now, let's talk about some things that keep a lot of women stuck. And I know because, hello, I've been there, I've done that. And let's just be clear too about your journey on the becoming your very best self. Okay. It's not a linear journey. Okay. There's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some motion. There's going to be some regression. But as long as you keep going, you're going to get onto the other side of where you're trying to go. Okay. As long as you keep waking up and you keep choosing her every day, you are going to get to where you want to be. And I know that oh so well. Regression is a part of the journey, you guys. And I never understood that, because I'm like, no, I should be going forward. Like, I need to be on a straight trajectory. Like, I need to be moving. And the thing is, the battle between your old self and your new self is a huge, huge battle. And it's something that you really just can't get out of. There's no video, there's no ebook, there's nothing that can help you avoid that part of your journey. You're going to have to sit in the discomfort. And trust me, sis, it's very, very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. But in that discomfort is where you find growth. And that's exactly why I'm here. I'm letting you guys know, like, this is a part of the journey. I really want to help women become their very best self. And I want to show my journey as proof that you can do this. You can do this. Like, we're doing this together. Okay. Everything that I talk about in my ebooks and my courses, all of that stuff is life experience, lived life experience. And I'm super passionate with helping women become their very best versions of themselves, because I know how hard it is and I know how lonely it can feel when you're trying to change and the things around you are still the same. That's when you have to do your inner work. That's when you have to make sure that you're consuming the right media, the things that you listen to, the people that you're around, even you're scrolling on social media. And let's talk about scrolling social media, because that is one of the main things that keep a lot of us women stuck. We get in this comparison loop. We're comparing our lives to someone's highlight reel. Like, literally, people on Instagram, on social media, they are posting and showing you the best, highest versions of themselves in their lives. And you're comparing that to something that you don't even know for real. You don't even know if that's an accurate depiction of their life. We're just seeing it, and it's reflecting back to us all the lack that we have in our life. When really, if you take that energy and put it into the things that you want out of life, you're going to get way further. Listen, when I was building my brand, I was not on social media. I literally had to take time out to just kind of sit with myself and decide what I really wanted out of life. Like, when you're doing the inner work and you're really working on changing yourself, you really do not need any outside distraction or noise. You literally need to go internally and do the inner work to help you get on the other side, or at least set the intention of what you want, right? When I decided that I was going to change and I put myself on this 6-month plan to change my life, I started to just work on me. I started journaling more. I started being very, very conscious with the people and the conversations that I engaged in. I also started being very, very cautious and careful about the accounts I followed on Instagram. I'm going to tell you the truth. I honestly went off social media for a while because I needed to hear my own thoughts. And I feel like when you're out here, it can get so loud. Distractions are everywhere, from social media to men to all the things, going out constantly. When you are really serious about changing your life, this is when you go inward. And I was hearing all this about like your isolation season. It's your isolation season, until I actually got in there and started to realize like this isolation is building me up brick by brick to be that version of myself. When you don't have any of that outside noise, the amount of like clarity that you get from sitting with yourself and really like figuring out what you truly want, and not by what you see, not by what social media tells you you need to have, or comparing your life to somebody else's, or listening to family or friends tell you what you should be doing or how you should be doing it. But when you cut out the noise, you get so much clarity. In 2 months, I had figured out my business. I was working on my exit plan for my job. I was doing all of these things because I literally sat with myself. I did the inner work. I had opened up 2 LLCs, 2 businesses in that time frame, because I decided you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invest in courses, because I know people that are successful and that are truly serious about changing things, they invest in themselves. You need to invest in yourself. And we'll talk about investing in yourself in other parts of the series. But I do have to touch on how important it is to be aware of the things that you entertain, the media you consume, the music that you listen to, literally the food that you eat. Oh my God. Moving your body, all of that. I literally cannot stress enough how getting in the gym, even if listen, before I got in the gym, I worked out at home, okay? I was a workout at home girly. Like I loved it. I worked out with YouTube videos and all of that, but this is my gym girl era, and I am living for the gym. I am in the gym constantly. So please move your body. Start small, go for walks, then maybe start doing some YouTube videos. When you're ready, go into the gym. But all of these things start to help shape your mind, and it also helps to shape the person you're trying to become. Okay. I can't stress that enough. Make sure that you're eating the right foods, making sure that you are consuming the right vitamins, honey. Like I remember I had to go into the doctor. I was like, I need you to do my blood work. I want to know where I'm deficient. I need these things because, like, I don't know about y'all, but like for me, being in my 30s, I am really on my health kick. I really just want to make sure I'm putting the right things in my body. I'm focusing on whole foods. All of that stuff plays such a huge part in your becoming. Okay. Don't skip on the little things. Take that time for yourself. Okay. Isolation season is real and it gets lonely. Trust me. I know. I know, because trust me, I'm living it. This is literally me in my isolation season. I am in my becoming journey too. Okay. That's why I decided to document this and give you guys the play by play on what I'm doing so that y'all can do it too. We can do this together. We're going to glow up and be that high version of ourselves. You'll be surprised at how much you change just by being self aware. Another thing that I want to bring up to you ladies is to stop being so hard on yourself. Okay. We all have that inner critic that critiques everything that we do, all the thoughts that we listen. I know, but you have to quiet her down too, because sometimes she can be a little louder than the noise. Trust me, I know. Challenge those thoughts, challenge that inner critic. When she says no, you say yes. When she says you can't, you say why not. Like, this is the time to challenge your thoughts. Okay. My Becoming Her ebook is so good because it literally has a lot of prompts and a lot of different like journal entries for you to kind of figure out where you're going on this journey. I had just found my notebook the other night, and I was like, "Oh my god," cuz I had went through and like journaled and wrote all these things down, like just shaping my future self. And when I tell you, it just relit a fire inside of me. I'm so happy because I was in a place where I was like trying to figure things out, a little bit of regression, just complete transparency. And I was like, God, you need to give me a sign. Like, you need to help me out. Like, where are we going? Because I'm feeling so overwhelmed, and you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're totally going to feel overwhelmed. And then I found my journal, and I was like, oh, okay, this is my reason why. Okay. This is what I'm going after. So make sure that you are journaling throughout this process. It's the most helpful thing that you can do. It moves the emotion through your body, and it also gives you like, it kind of gives you that reference point, right? When you have, it's not enough to just think it in your head. You literally have to have this stuff written down so you know where you're coming from and you know exactly where you're going, exactly where you're going, what she looks like, what she smells like, what she has, what she wears. Start embodying that version of yourself today. Literally, get rid of all those old things that like hold old energy or bad energy and start moving in alignment with the person that you want to be. Choose her. I swear, this is what I say to myself. Whenever I start to spiral, I say, like, what would my future self think? How would my future self handle this? Literally, how would she move in this situation? Channel her because she's already inside you, girl. She's there. She's there. Trust me. You got to listen to her. And you also got to be observant of your own thoughts, right? All these negative thoughts, emotions, and things that come up, check them at the door. Check them at the door. Hold up. Wait. Why am I feeling this way? What's going on? Why am I telling myself these things? Check them at the door. You'll All right, guys. So I wanted to kind of share a couple of journal prompts that I have been working through that kind of help me, and also some soft steps that you can take to kind of just rewire your beliefs. Let's start with the journal prompt. It's what beliefs I've carried about myself that no longer feel true. You know how I told you about being emotional? There's so many beliefs that we have about ourselves. That's just like one. Take the time to pull your journal out and ask yourself, what is one belief about myself that no longer feels true? And guess what? You can reframe that and you can change the way that you view yourself in that way. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you, ladies, is a couple of soft tips that are going to help you to rewire your beliefs. The first thing I want you to do is unfollow 5 energy draining accounts. I don't care where they are, what platform they're on, unfollow. Anytime you see something that comes on your timeline that makes you feel less than, that makes you question your life or where you are, hit the unfollow button. And if you're really serious, you can take a little social media fast. Okay. Just take a break. It's okay. Take a break. Trust me. You'll be happy. Okay, guys. So the second thing is to visualize her daily. This is one of my favorite practices. Honestly, I love to visualize. So I started by 5-minute meditations, right? There was this time, and I cannot find this 5-minute meditation again. I don't know where it's at, but start with 5-minute meditations. Just you can just go on YouTube and just like search up 5-minute meditations. Sit there, close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. They'll help you kind of walk through if you're new to meditation. But there was this one meditation that was guided I listened to for a week. By day 5, I was literally crying in my meditation because I could feel the life that I wanted. I was envisioning my partner. I was envisioning my house, my dog, my kids older. Like it was so crazy, but it was so good. It was so good. And you will get to that point too. And you got to start to feel these feelings and start to have gratitude. Okay. We're going to talk about all of this in the upcoming videos, but that is a good thing to do. Visualize her daily, okay? No matter what. Even start with the Pinterest board, get your mood board together, what you want to look like, your gym fits, your man, your house, your business, your career, the kids, the dog. Visualize it. Visualization is huge. Here's another good tip. Start a gratitude list every night. Just 3 things. Start with 3 things that you're grateful for. Even if you don't write them down, when you're in bed, just think to yourself, like, what are 3 things that happened to me today that I'm grateful for? And it doesn't even have to be things that happen to you. It could be just things that you have in life. I have been trying to just be so conscious of being in gratitude. Okay, gratitude is a huge thing to shift your vibration from being low to being high. And if you want to go from lack, scarcity to abundance, you really got to start being grateful for the things that you have. And I know some people are in really bad situations. Trust me, I know. But there's always something that you can find to be grateful for. Waking up is a blessing. You could be grateful for that. You know, there's so many things in life that you can be grateful for and that you can find gratitude in. So make that list, do it before you go to bed, and you start to feel better. You start to feel better. All right, guys. So that is it for this video today. I am challenging you guys to just take inventory of your thoughts, write down any negative thoughts, and reframe them. Okay. So this is all about rewiring your beliefs so that you become the best version of yourself. That's what we all want. That's what this series is about. It's the Becoming Her series. And we are going to get there. Okay. One step at a time. All right, you guys. So drop a star in the comments if you're ready to rewire your beliefs and become her. Like our next episode, we're talking all about self-acceptance. You're not going to want to miss it, okay? This is part 2 of our 10 video series of Becoming Her. Y'all know this channel is all about the glow up and becoming her. So stay tuned for the next video, you guys. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.